Open your mind.
Doing out there, Australia and the big wide world above. Jesus, MK, the Bossy Show, right here, right now. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, good, brother, mate. Another week, another day, another dollar, maybe. COVID free.
COVID free. We are pretty much free in the world today,
mate. It's looking like it's going to be a good Christmas for you guys, and even a better New Year. It's going to be no lockdowns in Australia, from what I hear, by the new year. So
yeah, I think on the
shout out to that
9th,
shit.
on the 9th, you are open to Melbourne again. I think 9th of December, the borders are open.
Couple of days before something else. I was
Oh,
looking
definitely.
to do 3 parties. Yeah, we got a few things lined up. Anyway, the show tonight, guys, we have a huge guest. Dream Frequency. Feel So Real from 1992 was their first hit single. Oh my God. And Take Me to the Top. Oh my goodness. I think that was
Monster
94.
tunes.
Monster tune, Dream Frequency. We'll be getting him straight up after this. We've got Dave DeJan and his glorious tech talk. He's got a number of things with Black Friday, Beatport, Pioneer gear. So all about that, some store DJ shit. So we can't wait to get him on board as well. So why don't we go to our first interview, mate? What do you reckon?
Yes, Ian Bland from Dream Frequency. He's been killing the scene for 30 years now. We're going to have a talk about his new album release, Dream Frequency 30. I think it's celebrating 30 years in the scene. He's got some monster artists appearing on the CD, like Ultrasonic, Sheree Hartul, Debbie Sharp, K69, Dave Heaton. It's massive. Ultrasonic. Everyone knows Ultrasonic here in Australia, and everyone knows Dream Frequency. So let's play that intro and get him on.
Sure. Behind the fame. One, two.
Hey, Ian, how are we going?
Bland, the man behind Dream Frequency.
Oh, what day is it? What time is it? What's going on? What's going on?
We're from the future, man. We're like we're in Tomorrowland.
I'm just dreaming about you guys. Yeah. So it's quite funny, right? So we did a sound check, didn't we, before? So you guys actually woke me up because we got the wires crossed. I was like, what's this? But just in between like the sound check and going live now, I just have to tell you this. Do you not think it's amazing how technology has changed, because I actually had a flashback while I was making a coffee downstairs, thinking when Feel So Real and Take Me came out and the first album, the record company said, right, we've got lots of interviews from Australia, right?
Yes.
Again, I totally forgot about it. And again, I was in bed, and this is how old I get. You know the score, guys. No fucking mobile phones. No fucking telephone is going off. And I'm like, hello? And this guy, the other, hello? This is blah, blah, blah from fucking Sydney. And mate, the time delay. Oh my days.
No.
I'm answering a question that he's asked 3 years ago, and well,
That is hilarious.
So this is
love it.
coming from Ian. Got a nice little phone call from me about an hour ago with the time frequency changing, and he's like, "Oh, well, what time is it? What day is it? Who the hell is calling me now?" And I'm like, "Oh God, did I get my times wrong?" But yeah.
No, you were bang on. You were bang on, mate. You were
bang on. Well,
so,
yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Yeah, very anticipated, and I think we get straight into it. Like before we start talking about your new album release, we want to hear how how did Dream Frequency get formed? Like, how did you form it? Like, did
yeah, I mean, it's like most things, like you have a passion for something, and then sometimes you start a hobby, and kind of that's where it was. So I started doing sort of getting into synths and things like that. I was like a massive sort of 80s electronic, Gary Newman, Ultravox, Japan, all the Human League, all that Kraftwerk. That is my in-room.
Yeah, right.
Sort of electronic music, and it's still my go-to listening. So I started doing that. Started doing bits of doing my own bands and shit like that. Pretty crap. Just for the buzz, really.
Yep.
And then around sort of 88, 87, started listening to house music. And then I thought, right, I want to make some of this music. And I want to just say to the listeners, right, because anybody who's younger and they're making electronic music now, brilliant. Everything is just on a plate. If I want a 909 kick drum, I'm not getting it out. It's fucking there, right? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Seriously, guys, right? It was like, I remember getting I eventually bought a 909 drum machine, but getting the first sample of a 909 on a floppy disk and nearly pissing my pants going, oh my God. So that was the struggle. Mate, you didn't know how to make shit. It was word of mouth. And it was just an organic route. And then I started this band, Dream Frequency. It wasn't called Dream Frequency. It was called, I don't know, some mad name. And then I heard a guy on a radio station, a local radio station, and he was forming a label called XL Records. And he said, if you got any demos, just hand them, send me them in via the post. So I did, sent him a few tracks, which were probably crap. A guy called Nick Hawkes. And he actually rang me back. I couldn't believe he actually rang me back, and he was like, yeah, I like these, they're not what we're looking for, but keep on sending, man. And about the sixth one I sent me a record deal, which was like Live the Dream, which was kind of quite an underground sort of techno record. And sorry I know I'm waffling on, but
no. This is what we want to hear.
Yeah, mate. The full circle story is, like Nick Hawkes went on to obviously make XL Records. He signed the Prodigy. He signed a lot of other bands. And then went and started Incentive and blah, blah, blah. And we've always still become, friends. He's my absolute mentor. Full circle story, bizarrely, is he's got a brand called Nick Reach Up, which is kind of like Dr. Packer, Greg, from your over your way, sort of that disco sort of house. So I'm helping produce still with Nick, you know what I mean? And we're still friends. And bizarrely, I've just been involved in helping doing the Kylie remix on a new album with Nick, one of his remixes. So it's quite a full story, a full circle story. So that is how Dream Frequency came about. And yeah, he signed us basically.
Oh, beautiful.
Is this when you did the Madonna's Maverick label? Is that how you
that was kind of a couple of years in of Dream Frequency. Debbie had gone back to the States. I think she was just having a sabbatical, or just thought, I need a breather, and she went off for something about 9 months, and she thought, I didn't know if she was actually coming back. And then we got a phone call from the record company sort of saying, yeah, Madonna's signing, you know, she's starting a label and she wants to sign Dream Frequency, which is quite surreal, really.
Wow.
Oh my goodness, dude.
That is a monster. Wow.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I was pretty green and I was actually fucking shitting myself thinking, oh my God.
Dude, of course, Madonna.
Like the biggest superstar in the world.
Oh, mate. And then
next up is Michael Jackson, MJ.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So that's heavy.
Yeah, it's like it was ridiculous. And yeah, it kind of went to press, you know, this quote, whether she said this or not, like, Madonna just loves Dream Frequency. And I was like, oh,
wow.
Crazy,
God. But it kind of fell through in the end.
Did you get that on camera or like?
Pardon?
Did you get that on camera?
I didn't, but it did go to press in Mix Mag. I've actually got it's Madonna signs UK act. Hold on, give me 2 seconds.
Yes,
show it. Come on,
yeah. If I can get it, hold on. If I can get it, yes, you can. Check this out. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Oh wow!
UK act.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you've got to, even if it didn't happen, you've got to put that on the wall. Just for,
you made it when Madonna's signed your act.
So,
you've
so
made
did
it.
you do your English bloody slang and say, oh, was Madonna a bit fit back then as well as she still is now? She's a little bit banging. She's a little bit of fit. She's fit, isn't she?
She was
however you say it.
She's always fit.
She was fucking scary as far as I was concerned. So basically, we went for a meeting in a record guy who was a guy called Guy Ozry. I think he went on to sign Alanis Morissette or something.
Wow.
quite an intense guy. So I just remember Tim Palmer from XL. You know, he's giving it the hand on the shoulder. Listen, Ian, if you need any equipment, if you need any, you know, just let me know. We'll get it for you. Me being green, I was like, no, I'm all right. I should have been going, I fucking want this, I want that. And then he gets into this office, and the guy who was running Madonna's label, I remember him just sat there, and you know, the record guys are speaking, we're speaking, and he was just like, you know, when somebody's just checking you out in a bit of a deathly stare.
Yes.
I just remember it was a bit uncomfortable. But I remember one of the other guys, guy called Richard Russell, actually, who's still running XL. He said, did you see that on the wall? And we were like, what? And he goes, there's a big picture of Madonna, and it said something like, did she have a track, Justify My Love?
Justify My Love. Yeah.
She put to Guy, I've justified my faith in you. Now, something repay. You know, one of them, or I'll kill you. You know, one of them kind of posters.
So when you got Dream Frequency going, like so the scene was actually full of DJs doing their thing. You brought something a bit different. Like you sort of had not a band, but you had a group. You had a different sound. You had a different vibe. Like how did that go breaking into the industry? Like you're a lot different.
I think because I've never really I mean, I can DJ, but I've never really classed myself as a DJ. I class myself as more of a producer, you know, an artist first, without sounding.
I've seen some pictures of you behind the decks in front of some pretty impressive crowds. Like,
oh yeah,
you can DJ.
Mate, no. The last 12 years, you know, I'm sort of, you know, I've learned to DJ and all the rest of it.
Multitasking.
And I know how to sort of, I know how to have a crowd, you know what I mean?
But artist first, producer, artist first, DJ later.
And listen, this is no sort of, you know, saying that in a bad way, because I have absolute total respect for vinyl DJs, especially vinyl DJs and DJs per se, you know what I mean? It's an absolute art, you know. But I was never really a vinyl head. I was more like into my synths and production. So in answer to your question about the act, so we went down that route, and then we started, people were saying, you know, like, because we had initially we didn't have a singer. We were just going out there and, you know, PAing and cutting our teeth, really. So we did a lot of gigs in Scotland, all around the country, basically. Eventually we got Debbie, then we got more visual. and then it just became this animal, you know, where it was just fucking brilliant. I mean, yeah, we went over to Australia in '92 with the Prodigy before the Prodigy went absolutely massive, and they were on the same label, and
Wow.
you know, Oakenfold was there and Carl Cox was there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All the boys.
legend. Yeah, Coxie, what a legend. And like I know him really well. No, but I could say hello to him, but you know what I mean. But it's not the bestest. But what a guy. So yeah, we were just really fortunate to ride that wave, and we just gave it heart and soul every time we went on, and that's how it came about. So I was never really a DJ. There was us and a lot of other bands kind of.
It's sort of like with what you're doing. I mean, the DJing, especially these days, it's sort of it comes with the job these days, pretty much. You know your music, you produce music, you're already a DJ. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a simplified version, a lot more simplified. You know, it's easier to become it's easier to become a DJ from a producer artist standpoint, would you say, than a DJ to a producer artist?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm playing it, you know, if I'm doing a rave in Scotland or wherever, it's almost like half a Dream Frequency show where it's like, obviously, I'm chatting bollocks on the mic and stuff.
Yes.
You know,
love it.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. You know, like it's a fucking rave. You know what I mean? If I was doing a Dancing Divas set in a cool club, I'm not going to be fucking shout, put your fucking hands in it. You know, I'm not going to be saying, you know, it's horses for courses, but I've never really been. Yeah, you know. So it's if say Masingo isn't available or you know, it's an easier thing to keep doing the gig rather than, well, we can't actually do the PA. You know.
Yep. So no, you were just saying about what synths you use. Shout out to the producers out there. We get exclusive here. You were talking about so do you run Ableton, Fruity Loops? You're running Logic. What's going on there? And have you been all across it all over the board? And these synths, VSTs, what are you using if you can?
Right. Okay. So obviously, I'll start at the beginning and then I'll work to where I am now.
Please.
So in the beginning, it was I had an XZ1 sampler, which I had a lot of Casio gear, which sounds really like Casio cheap watch, but they actually brought out some really cool synths, and obviously affordable. And so initially started off with a lot of that, then got all the analog kit, you know, like 909, 808, 303, and things like that. Samplers, Akai, it was all hardware.
Yeah.
It all took up massive space. So as it evolved through the years, you know, obviously now we're in the realms of plugins, aren't we? But I mean, classic keyboards for Dream Frequency, the sound back in the day, game changer was the M1. I remember dropping a name here, but I remember doing a gig for Laurent Garnier. So me and Laurent were really, really good friends back
Man
in the
with
day.
a red face, people.
Yeah. A little small story, mate. And he's actually in his pocket. But one of the first tunes that he ever made was in my little box room in Lancashire. It was being Laurent. And like, you know, we made some like acid tune and then he dropped it at Quadrant Park in Liverpool. So, but I remember him I did a gig for him in Paris and it was like a real small scene, a gay scene. That's the only people whose house was just a gay scene. And out the back of that, I think I clubbed together with a few other gigs and bought an M1, and that was an absolute game changer because you were just like, fuck, man, that's the piano sound. That's that organ sound. So that was a big deal. And like I say, that, you know, like the analog 808, 909 and the sampling aspects of it. And then as you move through the years, I mean, now, you know, I had a phase where I sold all my old gear and I do regret it. But then you could just do it in the box. I mean, you can't really pan around the studio. Excuse my adjusting my mic, but
yeah, beautiful.
I am building up my hardware again. What's this? The bloody mic.
So you got, is that a Native Instruments or a what do we got there? What's that red one? Is that a Nord?
No, it's actually a DeepMind Behringer DeepMind, which is kind of like a 106 Juno 106. But
yes.
what's
this? What's that bad boy that's sitting over the other side there, mate? That little brown thing. The other side. The little old school thing. No, yep. The other side of you. To your right.
To the right. The little orange thing.
Right. What's that bad boy there? Next to your
Under
headphones.
your headphones.
Oh, the 303 thing.
Ah,
Yeah,
to the
yellow.
303.
The 303 thing. Yeah, right. What's
Oh,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Cool,
yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah.
this is the beauty. This is the beauty of today, right?
What's
So
what's this thing? Fucking hell.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
that is that a devilfish or not? Or is it
No,
straight?
do you know what
It's
it
a
is, mate?
Roland.
It's a it's a Behringer. It's a
Behringer?
Behringer 303.
Oh, I know the one. Yeah, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
you've got. Let me just. I'm popping around the studio. It's a bit of a geek fest, isn't it? But, I mean, you've got like
Hey.
Roland.
Yeah.
They've reintroduced everything.
Yes.
I'll be really honest with you, right? As much
Yeah.
as the gear is to play with hands on,
Mm-hmm.
it's still a fucking nightmare integrating with computers. It's just as fast to do it in the box. And it is a little bit like,
The old school shit is, isn't it? The old school stuff is like,
it's a way of working. It's a way of working. So I consider the outboard gear now more of a hands-on treat. But if I was actually making tracks like I did with the album, it's more, you know, the plugins are that indistinguishable. Indistinguishable. I mean, you know, you're not exactly, you've got to be some geek to be on the dance floor and go, I think that's the plug-in version he's used there.
yeah.
I'm going to leave. It's not going to happen, really. So,
Yeah, sure.
Ableton probably is my go-to, and I use Logic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I've used the original Cubase way back in the day. I kind of left Cubase around the late 90s. I believe it's still good, but Ableton and Logic is probably my go-to.
So Ableton's just had a big upgrade, I hear, from our tech guy. I think he will be doing a talk on that.
The 10, the 10.5, the Ableton's sick.
Yeah, they're pretty much simplifying. They just simplify it more and more and more. Same as the controllers.
What do you think about Ableton versus and Logic? So obviously you've used Mac and PC. So is there some things that you perform with Logic there? And then I don't want to get too because crowded into music, but
I would say that for me, it's like if you had two kids, it's like choosing between your children. There's gonna you can't choose. I know it's a cliche analogy, but
you're choosing between them, but you'll always favor one, don't you?
What are you using? Are you using a Mac or?
I'm on Mac.
You're on a Mac.
Are you using Ableton though? Yes.
Yeah, I think my go-to if I was writing a song, it's probably majority of the album I've written in Ableton, just because it's fast, and I think Logic's it's upped its game with the clips now, so they've introduced like Ableton type clips.
Interesting. Wow.
I just find auditioning samples and dragging them in and blah blah blah. I just find Ableton just a little bit more zippy. Now, some people there's this debate about what sounds better. I think they both sound equally as good. I mean, I think Ableton's the way more things could affect us now, but again. Fucking hell, man! We were making tracks on a hard word desk. Feel So Real and Take Me. I probably didn't even use a compressor on the kick drum.
Wow. Well, but that was the next. Like moving on. Take Me to the Top. Like that was massive. Around the whole world. Can you just elaborate on that track itself? Like what eventuated
in vocal? Can you shout out to the vocal for us? Tell us who's behind the vocal.
Debbie, is it?
Yeah, it's Debbie. I mean, Debbie Sharp. I spoke to her only a couple of nights ago, actually.
Did you?
Listen, I tell you what, right? If you ever get the chance, you'll never get her off there. Once she starts, you can't get her off. But she's just one of them people that's just, when somebody walks into a room and they just own the room.
She's contagious.
Not in any sort of diva way or anything like that. Just like she's just got that
presence.
Yeah, she's just so funny. I mean, and
like Carl Cox, yeah, Carl Cox.
Yeah, just really approachable and I just rip her mercy. Without mercy, I just rip into her and take the piss out.
I think Sneaky Sound System. They copied you, I reckon. Sneaky Sound System. That. Very similar. She looks like Debbie. She's got a lot of presence on the stage. She's just, she's awesome.
Yeah. So she's the vocalist behind Take Me, and it's a weird story. A quick story about that is, like Feel So Real, it didn't start off in that, in incarnation, really. It was more of I'd submitted a couple of tracks to Nick at XL, City B, and he didn't like them. And I had to go back and think, fuck, I need to sort this shit out. And it was like an outtake, like "Feel So Real, You Make Me Feel So Real." I remember saying to Debbie in the recording session in the studio, just sing an ad-lib like "You Make Me Feel So Real." Maybe I was thinking of a Sylvester, "You Make Me Feel Mighty Real." And I used that as the chorus, and it's similar with "Take Me," you know, that I think in a hazy memory, but I think it was one song that got turned into another one, but then it just worked.
Yep, that's great.
So what is your from 1990s to 94, you were crushing it, right? You're killing it. What's your favorite one from back then? And then also coming back to your album, why this album, and where's this influence and stuff coming from? So back to the 90s, what's your thing?
What favorite record or gig or?
No, yeah, record, yeah.
Record. I think the one that stood the test of time has got to be "Take Me." I think "Feel So Real" commercially in the UK probably did better because it charted and all the rest of it, and we did the top of the
I think
pops
number 20 something in the UK, but 39 I think was "Feel So Real," but Take Me, but
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's weird how you know, like little sort of throws of the dice go one way and the other if you're bothered about sort of charts.
See, "Take Me" is more timeless, if I could say that. "Take Me" is
yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I totally agree. So like "Feel So Real" would have come out in Christmas time, which is like peak time for releasing records. So it would never have charted, but I fucked up the cut because I attended the cut when they're cutting the vinyl, and I told the guy it needed more bass, and when it came back I listened to it and I went,
because you didn't put a correct compressor on it.
It actually came out in January, so it gave it a bit more chance of charting, so that did well. But then on the flip side,
yes,
"Take Me" got delayed for a week, and if it hadn't have been delayed for a week, it was going to be HMV's record of the week, featured the lot. So there's your yin and your yang right there. So, but I think "Take Me" is probably the more timeless one and the one that I don't get sick of either.
Yeah, that's
great. Not at all. And "Feel So Real" is but you know, I sort of got to say that sort of is a lead up to "Take Me." You know, I think that, you know, like a DJ said or whatever, "Take Me" on its own, I'm not sure if it would have had the same thing, but it's definitely, you know, it is timeless. It's got all those attributes, but I think with "Feel So Real," it's that, you know, there's something happening here, and then bang, it just went boom.
Yeah,
didn't it?
I mean, the best review that somebody did, I don't know if it was in Mixbag, we described it as like a small nuclear bomb going off in a club, which I mean, it's what I intended. I mean, it's just absolutely unashamedly, no fucks given, rave on steroids.
Yes.
And just coming back to the album now, a good friend of mine, a guy called Rob Tissera, is like one of my best mates, and a DJ from way back. When I was doing this album, because the reason I've done it is it's 30 years, kind of a story in between. Obviously, we've still been doing PA, still been doing gigs and stuff, and I just never did any new Dream Frequency stuff. Number one, because I thought, how the fuck can I top "Feel So Real" and "Take Me"? Can I get into that mindset of writing, you know, the rave tune with the feeling, and that, because obviously I'm doing a lot of new house stuff, tech house, all sorts of stuff. So he was kind of getting into that frame of mind. And then I was working with somebody, I've told this story a few times. I was working with somebody in my studio. This client, a nice guy, and I was having a moan about how hard it is to get new stuff away, you know, on a house tip. And he said, "Blandy, why are you bothering about that? You should just concentrate on Dream Frequency." He said, "You be doing Dream Frequency till you are popping your clogs on your Zimmer frame." And you know, when a light bulb goes off in your head, you think, fucking hell, man, yeah, why? And then I realized it was 30 years. So again, going back to the rave on steroids.
So how long when you started Dream Frequency, how long did it take you, and how many shutdowns did you get until you actually made it? Like, were you an instant success, or did it take time?
No. When I think about it, I mean, I started Dream Frequency in anger probably the end of '89. So it did.
Jesus,
took
so
a couple of
1990.
Yeah,
No.
which sounds like a really quick process. But
Yeah, it does. Yeah, yeah.
there was another 4 years of you know, doing synthesizers,
Yep.
weird, you know, like Depeche Mode kind of shit before house music. So again, it's
Right.
it's not an overnight success by any means.
Yep.
So yeah, we just going to. So then I just thought, right, to be honest with you guys, the first couple of tracks I was thinking, you know, when you see the road ahead and think, I've got to write 12 tracks here. Initially, I thought 12 tracks. No pressure here then, you know, because you know what I mean? Like ravers are going to think it's your legacy without sounding like a twat. It's your legacy.
No. Yes.
You don't want to bring something out that you think, yeah, it's all right.
So there's a lot of pressure on this album. Is that what you're saying? Definitely.
Yeah, it felt like that. But sort of 2 or 3 tracks in, I can't explain it. It's like,
did you find your groove?
I found the groove and I found the look.
Fucking hell, that's brilliant, mate. I'm
Just-
so proud.
Honestly, mate, I was just like, I am absolutely fucking loving this. And just going, why the fuck did I not do this before? But then again,
So it
Where's the
changed.
exclusive? Holy
It changed.
shit,
You started
that's
it. You
amazing.
thought you had something, and then you done it again. It got better, and then you did it again, and then it was like something happened.
Yeah.
It clicked.
and then I think a breakthrough moment as well was the same guy who said, Ian, why you not doing Dream Frequency? He'd come in with a singer called Cherie, right? Cherie Hartle. Obviously, Debbie's kind of retired now, and she was looking after a mother in the States and a family. And obviously, we keep in touch, but it's a long way to do vocals in the States, you know. And then so Cherie came in and did a track for this guy. It was like a disco track. And I remember sitting here in the studio recording her and thinking, fucking hell, man, she's amazing. She's like one of the best singers. And she just sort of come out. She hadn't sung for a few years. So I said to Mark, this guy, Mark Pickup, I said, listen, I'm not being funny. You know, she's your singer. You know, you're using it. Would there be any chance of using it on some Dream Frequency stuff? I'm doing this album. And he went, Ian, I've already thought of this. Yeah, I've told her you should work with Ian. So we started doing the album, and I was working with another great singer called Tamika Jackson. And it just turned out that we did one track, then we did another track, and I was like, Cherie, can you do this? Can you do that? And she's just fucking nailed it on this album, mate. It's like it wouldn't have happened without her in respect to the vocals.
Wow.
So it was almost like it was a big part. And I you know, I can honestly, you know, look on this little bad boy here. He says,
Hey!
We need to start talking about this Dream Frequency 30. Like, what's it about? What's it represent?
Holy shit.
What's
Here it is.
you know?
So basically, I started off with a target of 12 tracks. Ended up at I ended up at 20 tracks, and then thought,
Excellent.
I better stop now.
Mhm,
But I'm still, you know, I'll give you the little exclusive in a minute. But so like I got Malorca Lee involved. I know Mal really well.
Hey.
On it. What me and him, he's like my brother from another. He's the Scottish version. Always taking the piss, always having a laugh. So yeah, you know, he's done the business on that, and then a lot of other artists on there. Rob Tissera, K69, you know, another good mate of mine.
Oh my god, really? K69? Shit. Yeah.
Because I produce, you know, all the K69 stuff as well. So the blueprint
Red Snapper.
for Dream Frequency stuff was already kind of there without me knowing it. Just getting back into making big piano tracks, whatever. So there is some. Honestly, we listened to the first 12 tracks at a friend's house before I'd finished it, and that's the first time we listened to all the tracks back to back and went. And even my friend, who's a good raver, you know, we were just all like, "Fucking hell, this is actually really fun." I hate saying shit like this because I feel like, you know, but I thought this is delivering. You know what I mean? So I'm just so stoked about it. I'm really proud of it. I can hang my hat on this album.
Are you
just
serious?
Wow. You know. So we did this Kickstarter because we wanted to bring it out in the best, you know, on vinyl, on CD, proper old school. But obviously that took, you know, 20 odd grand to do that or whatever it's going to do. So we thought the best way of doing it was a Kickstarter. So everybody who wanted it pledged the money. If we didn't hit the target, it didn't happen. So it was a win-win for everybody, for the people who love Dream Frequency and for ourselves. It was a no risk thing.
Yes.
And then we hit the target, and like, mate, my house is like a fucking Amazon warehouse at the moment, mate. So that's why but it's for the love, and and then I'm going to be releasing it totally digital iTunes a lot in January. So
right, did you actually bring it out on vinyl?
Mate, check this out. Check
It
it
looks
out.
Have got it on
It looks
vinyl.
amazing.
Double vinyl.
Oh my
it's
god!
green.
So you can.
Oh, bloom green should never be seen unless it's in
Wow.
30. That's amazing.
So we did this, and I've got to big up me wife Charlotte. Honestly, mate, me and her have just been like stressed to the max. You know when you say like, don't never teach each other to drive a car, because she's just like, it just ends up in fucking World War III, and but it works out in the end. So
Yes.
I mean, she's a marketing director as a job, but she has absolutely nailed it. I couldn't have done this without her, honestly, Charlotte.
Wow.
Right, so
Charlotte. Wow.
Mate, there was a limited book. I mean, this is the best quote. My friend Rob Tesseris, he said, "I can describe you in one sentence, Blandy," and I use this as a quote, so it's basically that. Said in a Lancashire Yorkshire accent, "I like rave me."
I like rave me. I love that. That's hilarious.
So yeah, we've done like
Yorkshire.
a limited book and stuff like that. So there's like,
wow,
check me out. Fucking
Dude, this is crazy.
It's a complete journey sort of thing. So, but
so you've brought out a book. So is that book Dream Frequency 32? Is it? What?
It was just a limited book with the Kickstarter. So it was like your top VIP thing. It was literally, mate, there was about 15 or 20 books that we did. It cost a bloody fortune, but they do look amazing.
They look spectacular.
It does.
Honestly, I mean, that's where we're at now. That was the last gig we did before lockdown.
Mate,
and when was that? That like January?
That was February. And it's weird because we were like just saying at the time it was just all kicking off with the COVID thing, and we were like, shake hands, should we not? And then all of a sudden, like, guys, it just went.
Wow.
I mean, luckily I produce for a living, so I was doing things online remotely anyway. So I know there's a lot of people struggling, and my heart goes out to them. You got to just keep the faith and big love on that. But I have been really lucky that I've lost all the gigs, but I've managed to still be able to work.
Going.
Right. Well, we're going to wrap up soon, but I just want to. There's a couple of things that I want to get. Who's the pooch in the background?
Yeah,
mate?
I know.
Every friend.
That's my little dog, Bailey.
Bailey. Yeah, right. Shout out to Bailey. Yeah.
He's chill.
And it's not. Yep.
No, sorry, mate. I said I don't want to get done for animal cruelty, but I think I've actually deafened him because he just sits in and. Do you want to see his party trick?
Definitely.
Yes, I'd love to.
He might not play ball, but his party trick is wearing glasses.
Oh no. He looks like you.
Mate, honestly, right, he's a bit sleepy at the moment, but you can stick the glasses on him and he'll just sit there with the glasses. He's getting a bit older, lad, now.
He's
like, I've been looking at screens for like at least 10 years.
I've heard it all before.
So your Dream Frequency books, you said you made 15 of them. Where are they? Who's got the 15 books?
I think there's about 15 the Kickstarter people basically. Right. So I've got one obviously, and then basically the Kickstarter people. I mean,
are you going to be putting that up on your website or anything like?
No, they're already gone. They're already gone.
No, I'm talking about the pages, the book itself.
Oh, like on a PDF kind of thing.
Yes.
I mean, it's a possibility. It's a possibility, but the physical copies, the way we wanted to do it, we wanted to make like the vinyl and the CD a limited thing.
Yeah.
Not to really, seriously, what it wasn't about. Like, it wasn't a money making exercise. No. I mean, we'll make a little bit off it, but what we were working on. Yeah, I mean, we just wanted to do justice to the album because it's 30 years. But I mean, when we're working out, what we've made off Kickstarter, and it doesn't even cover at the time we put in,
Yes,
but it wasn't about that. It just wasn't about
No.
that. So yeah, it's all limited. It's all limited CD, limited vinyl, and then digital release in January.
Mate, that's absolutely
yeah,
fab, as you say.
I have got an exclusive, right? So
Oh, go, yeah, go.
yeah, sorry, I'll forget. Off the back of that, me and Mallorca are already about 8 tracks in.
Ultrasonic, guys, for people that don't know. Yeah,
Ultrasonic. So yeah, we're doing an ultra frequency album, and I've got to tell you, right, he's sounding fucking raving.
Are you serious?
I'm honestly, God, mate, we just both sat there just going, fucking hell.
Because I saw him in January in Brisbane here. He actually got my mate, best mate, Jacko, and myself tickets to the show in Brisbane because he didn't